Hey, how you doing today, Jason?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I do want to go over, dig a little bit deeper into what we talked about from last week's session um, with your triathlons. Now, you still, we're gonna go back over the last one, which was, of course, your triathlon is. The progression that we were going in was swimming, biking, then running, correct?
Yep.
All right. So, and I think you said you the two trouble points of your last one was the swimming and the running. Pretty much the swimming because it's just not one of your stronger events. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's some apprehension there because of that. It's not something that you really jumped into, you know, before getting into the triathlons,
Yeah.
and that you don't practice as much as you would probably like to as well.
Yeah.
But with the biking, that's been pretty consistent for you as far as following swimming. It's more of a smoother event or a smoother portion of the triathlon.
Yeah.
All right, so smoother event. Would you say that's more so like a like kind of a I don't want to say a rest period, but it's more so where you can kind of catch up with your breath and maybe your thoughts a little bit, or kind of have a little bit of relaxation going?
Um, yeah, I don't have to worry much about, I guess the swim, yeah, I feel so uncomfortable in the water, it's not my thing. So getting out of the water, being back on land, I guess, is more comfortable for me. And then not being worried about my Achilles injury also on the bike. It doesn't affect the Achilles at all. So it's like the one portion of the race where I can, yeah, don't really have to worry about much. I can just focus on pushing the pace and just kind of going for it more with that. There's really no reason for me to kind of hold back on the
Okay.
bike. Yeah.
So there's no kind of threat to injury with your Achilles. It's putting you back in that comfort zone from going from water to land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the running is, your best event. You're used to it, but you said you had a little trouble. You was kind of worried about some things, so you didn't really push the pace like you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had a little bit of fatigue and a little bit of worry, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right. During the triathlon at any portion of the event, how worried about you, or how worried are you for the for making the time? As far as you don't seem like you're too worried about outside influences or outside spectators, more so how you challenge yourself and what your expectation of yourself is to achieving whatever time that you're looking to get.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'm worried about, yeah, focusing on the pace, the time that I want to get, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, just for a question, Jason, with that, when thinking about your time, um, is that more so against your past times, just something that you really feel that way, or you get any kind of frustration or apprehension because you're trying to match or beat a a time in one of your past races, or one of your past events?
Yes, I would say, especially the swim, because I've never done that distance before, so I was really unsure. So I
Okay.
didn't know if the goal was too fast or not, or too easy. I wasn't really sure, so I kind of just threw it out there and was hoping I would get it. I guess that's kind of how it was with all three, but the swim was the hardest one to kind of guess, or hardest one to set.
Okay. And then just kind of going back to the running, that portion was you were more worried about just kind of that thought process that you were tired and you didn't want to damage your Achilles or kind of suffer from any past Achilles injuries, right?
Yeah, yeah. Every time I start out running after you know, the second transition from the bike to the run, change my shoes and all that. When I start out running, I'm always kind of hesitant on like how fast I can actually run. Um, for like the first minute or two, just to kind of feel it out. Yeah.
Now, when you're anytime the event, when you feel, what's your response? What do you do when you think? Do you just kind of push your pace when you're running, biking, or swimming? If you feel like you're going too slow, or you see people pass you, do you just kind of push it up and try to go faster, or is it that you more so concentrate on the thoughts, and if so, and if or the thoughts about how, I'm not gonna say poorly you're doing, but how you're not kind of at expectations, or kind of focus on the environment. Like, how do you feel? What are your thoughts during all of this, besides mostly during the swimming?
When I get passed on the swim, or
Yeah, when you feel like you're not, what do you do when you feel like you may not be on pace?
um,
Really think about the thoughts that you have and what you do in response. How do you adjust?
I guess I try to not worry about, like, if I feel like if I think I'm going too slow or something, I try not to worry about that and just try to stay smooth in the water. It's like, because it's hard to tell, running, you can kind of check your watch. You kind of have more of an idea of like environment of how fast the ground is moving underneath you. On the bike, you can check your speed, with all the gadgets, and like, but swimming, you're out there in the water. There's really nothing to relate to as you're moving through it. The beach is kind of far away.
Right.
So it's so hard to tell how fast you're moving. But I just try to keep refocus back on the pace, just maintain a good pace that I can do without kind of burning out my arms too quickly, and try to stay relaxed with a good pace. And that's all I can really do. And hopefully I get my time, but yeah,
Okay.
refocus on.
Okay, so when you said try to stay relaxed, what do you mean by trying to stay relaxed? Are you just saying to yourself, stay relaxed, or are you just trying to just not burn yourself out with the thoughts that you're having? And before each part of the event, I mean, before the event and before each portion of the triathlon, how do you feel? What's going through your mind?
On the swim, yeah, it's just trying to get through the waves. First goal is just to make it out as quickly as possible through the waves, navigating each wave as it comes, whether to go under it, through it, around it, or and just try to get out past the waves as quickly as possible to that first buoy and make the turn and then start heading like parallel to the beach. And that's when I kind of like try to just get relaxed and get into a good rhythm from there. And by relax, I mean like just kind of just calm down. You know, I don't have to, you know, it's the finish line isn't, you know, close, so I don't have to try to rush and sprint toward the end. You know, I mean, I want to get through it, so I'm trying to hurry up, but then at the same time, I got to remind myself, like, you know, it's a ways out. Just, you'll get there, you know, just go at the pace that you can maintain and just stay with that, and you will get there. You know, I don't want to just go too fast and then, like, have to stop, like, turn over and do backstrokes or whatever, you know. I just want to, you know, kind of put down and just kind of go at a good pace and just remind myself that there's still a ways to go, you know.
Okay. So, you know, just relaxing, you don't want to burn yourself out too fast.
Yeah.
How do you feel before, or what's going through your mind beforehand, as far as the whole event? Like, what do you do to prepare? Like right before the event, before you start the swimming portion, or if that's the first portion, what do you do to kind of prepare for um, the triathlon? Do you have like any kind of pre-routine, anything that you do in particular, or is it kind of just stretch, warm up, and get in there?
Yeah, I get there, I find my spot in the transition area, you know, where I park my bike and all my stuff. I lay it out, get it all ready in order of how I'm going to use it, and then, you know, put my wetsuit on, walk out over to the start line by the swim, get in the water, you know, feel the cold water all over me, you know, in the wetsuit, around the wetsuit, and just kind of swim around, get used to just being in there, and do some swimming to kind of loosen up the shoulders and arms, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Just get a feel for the ocean, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, then I said, then just go over to the start line and go line up.
Okay, so you just kind of try to get used to the water, and you know, try to get a feel for the water. How's your do you feel ready to go? Are you prepared, or is it kind of like when you jump in, because swimming is that part of the event that you just don't feel? Is that just a portion that you say, oh, okay, let me get this over with?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just get through this. Yeah, let me just get through this swim. You
Okay.
know. Yeah.
All right, so I just ask these questions because I'm trying to get a better feel for how you are doing events. I do have a better understanding of the swimming, biking, and running, how you feel. And it's just a little bit of anxiety and apprehension because you know that swimming isn't, again, not your strongest part of your event. So it's something that you just want to get through. Um, what I would say do, and knowing that you are in the military, it might be something helpful to try to find, like while you're getting a feel for the water, try to find that level of energy, not just to get through it, but not to, like you said, ways kind of relax, not burn yourself out. But it's two conflicting thoughts. Get through it, but don't burn myself out, and relax. So it's almost like the thoughts in your mind are fighting one another, and you're kind of having a different response, which is a physical one because you just want to get through it. So you may not be as relaxed or as on pace as you might want to be. What I would suggest kind of doing, and this is the first part of this, and it can go throughout the event because the biking one is where you get your comfort back from an uncomfortable situation. And I believe you're starting to fear, you just have that fear of something that's just not it just doesn't feel natural. Your anxiety comes from that. And you are having, and because it's kind of an unnatural, something that you're not used to, not something that you are a huge fan of, it's creating stress. It's creating those conflicting thoughts, and your physical response to that is trying to relax. It's almost as you're forcing the relaxation on yourself, um, until you can get to the biking portion. And what I would say do, and you're in the military, do you have any kind of chance that you may have said while you're in basic training or PT training with other military personnel? Something to
Hmm.
try to keep you on pace?
Something that can what?
Something that can kind of keep you on pace. Because what I would like you to do as far as the swimming portion, you want to establish a rhythm. With that rhythm, you have your energy at a consistent level throughout this endurance event that keeps your energy level at a nice, consistent pace. You on rhythm, but you not having to try to focus on being relaxed, and just put you in a state of relaxation and consistent energy level, because you can burn yourself out with your thoughts and then trying to force your muscles to do something with those conflicting thoughts. So you're saying, let me get through this. So your body will say, let me hurry up. And then you have to tell yourself to relax. And then you start to feel like you're falling behind pace. And then the anxiety of staying in the water too long. Is that something, kind of have a little bit of understanding of what that means?
Yeah. Yep. Um, hmm.
So to get to that optimal, it's what we would call optimal level of energy, is to create imagery and to create better self-talk in the form of something that can help you maintain a rhythm, but to take your mind off of having to force yourself to relax, but also force yourself to pick up the pace to get, again, because that bumps heads. You want to relax and not force yourself to burn out, but you want to get out the water. And what you want to do is have those meet to where you have a rhythm, and that you can trust yourself to maintain a pace and finish without having to force yourself to relax. Because when you force yourself to relax, you may fall behind in your pace, and you don't want to fall behind in your pace because you don't want to be in the water too long. So
Yeah.
is there, so what we're going to do is kind of create a chant. Is there like a chant that you have from the military that you could bring in that kind of help you um, maintain that pace, or something that we can create? Like every time you take a stroke, you're like left, right, or stroke on every right-handed stroke, something that will be comforting to you. What is something that would help you maintain that rhythm, like a chant or a saying or a cadence, basically a cadence, to keep your energy level up but keep it consistent?
Hmm. Yeah, we do have a lot of cadences that we do also while we're running. We have a lot of running specific cadences um, that we use, yeah, to stay on beat. So,
So what I would want you to do is take a cadence, and I'm sure there's plenty of cadences there that you can use, and you can use it for the biking, but that's not where your issue lies. It more so lies with the swimming and the running, because with the running, you don't have a fear of the unknown, but your anxiety comes with trying not to hurt yourself, and then um, focusing on how tired you are from the first two portions of the triathlon. So we want to take that cadence is something to put in your mind. You don't have to say it because it's going to be hard to say when you're in the water, because you do have to breathe, you do have to maintain that stroke. But if it's something that you can think that keeps your energy up but consistent, and
okay, yeah.
and you can pick whatever one you want. I'm pretty sure you have plenty to choose from, but pick one that gives you a good level of energy, one that you like. It could be a song, it could be a cadence, something that you can use that keeps your stroke in rhythm but consistent, and just kind of repeat that in your mind. And then when you come out the water, you can keep it in mind, or you can continue to do what you're doing at the biking. Then when we get back to the running, I want you to take a moment, and we're gonna do a quick relaxation exercise to kind of get you ready for the the running portion. And then we're gonna go back to that cadence, because that will maintain that level of energy and take your mind um, off of your Achilles, or what could happen to your Achilles, but what hasn't.
Yep.
So do you kind of have some in mind that you can use for the next triathlon, or when you go to practice your swimming portion?
Yeah, one came to mind. And I can go through a list and find maybe one, maybe just, yes, find a better one or a different one, but, because I can't remember all the cadences, but there's a line in one of them, or yeah, that goes like, as we're running, right? We're running. So you start with the left foot. So it's left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. Left, right, left, right, left, right, kill.
Okay.
So it's kind of, morbid, obviously, but talking about killing. But
Whatever works for you. You can say kill. You can throw a different word in there, or a different verb in there to kind of keep, something. You could use party. You could use Zoom. Whatever it is that you think will be appropriate for the situation, but you want to throw it in there because it's something that means something to you, and it can energize you.
yeah, I could see that bringing out like the kind of like warrior mentality, that we get like trained on or brainwashed into. But yeah, so I could see that kind of, the point of it is to kind of, energize people and get them excited to go out and like, do their job.
But then beforehand, but don't do it as soon as you get in the water. What you want to do is say it a few times before your start. Maybe like you have a minute before um, the bell goes for the start, and you can start saying it just to kind of get your rhythm, even if you have to mentally see yourself doing it before you get into the water. So you can close your eyes and start saying it to yourself. It doesn't have to be loud, but you can see yourself swimming, feeling the movements as you're saying it to yourself. That way you can start your rhythm before you actually jump in the water to start swimming.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And you can use the same thing for your running. Again, it will take your mind off of what could happen, or with your Achilles, because what it's doing is it's it's relaxing and energizing at the same time. You're not focused on it. So because they say because when you're focused on it, what you're going to do is your response, your physical and your behavior is going to actually change up um your run, not style, but run technique, where you may want to take some of the pressure off, especially when that pain really isn't there. It's more worried that the pain could start.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like those two competing thoughts, it's like merging those together and kind of using that energy.
And then
To,
you also put with that, you're also pushing the negative thoughts to the side, and focusing on the race and anything associated with the race, the rhythm, the cadence, your running technique.
yeah.
And if you find yourself even beforehand, there is it's really a really simple breathing exercise. If you find yourself a little anxious, it's basically breathing in and holding it for a 1 count. Breathing in again and letting it go. That's for a 2 count. And you're going to work yourself up to a 5 count. And then you can start over. And then each time you're going to feel, when you exhale, what you're going to do is you're going to let your hands relax, kind of let go. And you can shake it out. On the second one, you let your arms hang. Let the anxiety go. Again, breathe in, hold it, and then let the top half of your body go. It's going to be progressive breathing to kind of relax your body. You can do that before you get on the bike. Now, it may cost you a little bit of time, so you can shorten up the counts. It doesn't have to be a progressive to all the way to 5 count on the inhalation, but it can be up to just 1, hold, and then let a body part relax. 2, or another 1 count, let another body part relax. So you're not feeling it, because at a certain point you may need to stop between each portion, take a moment. Don't jump right in, but take a moment to do it. And then at the end of the race or the end of the triathlon, go more into the progressive breathing with longer counts.
Okay.
Now, with those cadences and concentrating, again, you want to start it in your practice sessions, especially with your swimming and when you go out for your runs. Is that something that you can think that you can start practicing now and to try to find out what words, what cadences, what chants that might work best for you? Something that can keep your energy up but consistent, so you don't have too much of a drop or a rise unless you need it, and then you can switch to a different chant if you need to kind of pick up the pace and pick it up just enough, but keep it consistent to the point where you're comfortable, but it's going to increase that performance and that pace where you need it to be.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work.
Good, good. So that's what I want you to focus on this week. Choosing your cadence, choosing your chant, and practicing with it, because I believe you said your next event is in about a month or so. It's not too far out.
Yeah.
So
Actually, yeah.
so what we want to do, we want to start instilling that now into your upcoming practices and see how it works. And then when we have our next session, we're going to see what difference that made in not only your running, but definitely in what you feel is the weakest portion, which is the swimming, and how much you improved just by adding that onto there.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, I hope today's session really helped you out, and it's something that you'll be able to instill in your practices and your performances with your upcoming races. And again, we'll check back and see how it's working for you and see how much you've improved or how that has improved your practice performance for your next event.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll see you next time. And we'll definitely see what else we can do and keep practicing that.
Okay. I will.
All right.